Welcome back to the RPGMaker MV tutorial series level 2. In the last episode, we looked at how to make some NPCs, that's non-player characters for your village or town. In this episode, let's take a look at how to create some custom player characters. Here we are back in RPGMaker MV, and last time we looked at the character generator. We saved some NPC characters, and we had male and female versions. We saved faces and walk characters. We could then apply those, for example our granny in the inn, and we were able to choose an NPC face and an NPC walk character. So that's a quick and easy way to do some NPCs. Now what if we want to increase our number of actor options? So here we can see we've got the face, so that's the same as the NPC, just the face. The character was the walk character, just the same as the NPCs, but now we have an SV battler. So let's go and just check how to do that. So we're going to load up one that we've prepared earlier. We've now relabeled our NPC sheet to NPC01, and we're going to have a character sheet 01. I'll open that up, and we've got a male and female saved. So we can go through and do the same thing. Face image, and for the first one we have to export, and we might call this one just in line with our original, with our save file. We call character 01 PNG, and close that down. Then we can go to the female. We can import character 1. Once again, I'm having the same issue, and then we simply hit export, character 1, replace it. Okay, and we can continue to do that multiple times. The other alternative is, because these are characters, you might want to have multiple face expressions, and you could use those in your game in different ways. So I'm just going to delete this file, save that as character 1, and you can see here he's got a fairly neutral expression, smiling a little bit. We can just easily change his expression slightly by adjusting the mouth and the eyes. You can change the eyebrows too, whatever you like. I'll click on face image again. This time I'll import that character. Then you can see there are two slightly different expressions. Click export and save. And I can continue to do that for all of the different expressions here. Okay, so I've repeated the process 8 times, and now I have character 1, and I've set that up for the male, so character 1 male, and I've now got 8 different expressions for character 1 male. I can now go to female, I can do face image, start off here, I can export, click there, and I can just change that to character 1 female. Save that, and start the process all over again. So here we are, we've changed the eyes and mouth 8 times, and we now have 8 different expressions for our character 1 female. The next thing we need to do is to save the walk characters. So we can once again start off here, we can do export. In this case we're going to be character 01, save that. And the walk character, there's no options. So we can just simply load up the character 01 and export as character 01. Okay, so that gives us male and female character 01. And just a quick note, if you click on the walk character and you click on export, you can see that there's a bunch of different files in here. Now these are under your project, image, IMG, characters. And this folder can basically be thought of as any animated objects in the game. So it does of course have the people, but it also has animated vehicles, it has animated chests, and animated doors, etc, etc. So anything that moves effectively within the game would probably be stored under characters. There might be exceptions, but this is the way I like to think of it. So what do all these symbols mean? Well, the game symbols have some, the default symbols in the game actually have some relevance. So you'll notice that the people don't have a symbol, but all of the inanimate objects actually do have symbols. And what that says is that the exclamation mark in particular basically tells the game that this is an inanimate object. If it doesn't have the exclamation mark, it's offset by a set number of pixels, and that gives it a certain kind of a vibe, a little bit more of a lively placement character feeling, and it's used for people, monsters, vehicles, etc. The exclamation mark tells the game to set the object exactly as it is in the sheet here. Some of these character sheets also have a dollar symbol. Now, the dollar symbol tells the game that this sheet here, this character sheet, is one single object. So you can see that this exclamation mark tells the game that this is an inanimate part of the map, effectively, and it needs to place it exactly where it says on the sheet here, not offset it as a character would. And that's the same as the door sheet. But you can see this door sheet has multiple doors on that sheet, on a single sheet there. Whereas this exclamation mark dollar gate is an inanimate object, and it is also one single gate. And so that one single gate will show a specific animation for that one single gate. It doesn't have multiple doors, so when you go to select it, you'll see the effect of that. Not to be confusing, but I use the underscore simply because it puts my character sheets before the other sheets, because it makes it ahead of alphabetical order. You could use something like a 0 if you wanted to put it ahead of all the other sheets, or you could just ignore that completely. It's really up to you how you want to label your sheets. Right, digressions aside, so we saved our walk character. Let's save our damage character. This is the first one in character 1. So there's many different ways that you can do this. I'm going to call this character 1 damage, save, close. I'll have my female with the character 1. She'll be the second one in this sheet, so character 1 damage. I'll open it, I'll export it over the top. And so now I have 2 damage poses for the male and female characters in character 1. Last but not least, we want to save the battler. Now, that's this main section here. Where is that used? We haven't actually used it yet, but if you go into Database System and you click Use Side View Battle, that will actually show up the side view. It will show up your character when you're doing battles. So we'll see the effect of that shortly, but just for now we'll load up our character 1A, and we will export our battler. Okay, now I don't have anything in here yet because this is brand new. So it's character 01A, and this is the male battler. So I'm just going to save that. And I'll go to my female, and I'll save battler, and I'll just export that. Now I've got character 01A male, and I'll just put character 01A female. So how do we use these? Right, well, we need to create an actor. So under system, I just reduced my starting party back to just our hero again, and I'm going back to my actors over here. Now I've got my knight Therese. I'm going to change her face to use my new female character. I'm going to use my new character, and the female was down here, and I'm going to use my new battler, and that's the character 1 female battler. So Therese has now been overhauled so that she uses my new character image. I'll also update Hunter Fred, so he can use my new character male face. He can use my new character 1 male, and he can use my new character 1A male battler. Apply all that. So Knight Therese and Hunter Fred, all of the defaults are still all the same, so they're still the same classes, skills, etc. None of their equipment has changed. The only thing that has changed is their image. Click OK. So to test out our image, we can actually do a battle test. Now if you recall from level 1, you can test your enemies. I've come to the orc here. I actually had to change their skills a little bit because some of them were kind of bugging out. So I've just set skill 1 to attack, set skill 2 to strong attack, and skill 3 to a dual attack. Changed the ratings there to 4, 5, 6, 7. Hopefully that fixes the bugs. And you can click on troops, and there is an orcs troop setup. I call this an encounter. And you can click on battle test, and what we can do is we can set Knight Therese and Hunter Fred. Set them to level 1 just because we want to see what their damage looks like. Their damaged form looks like. So we'll just attack, attack, attack. You can see Therese has been stunned by the orc. And there, she's knocked out. And there's Fred knocked out, and we lose. So that's all working. Just a quick note about those orcs as well. In the new data, the orc attack state seems to be a bit broken. That's why it was bugging out. So where it says attack state 14, that's blank. Change that to paralyze, and that means that the state rate, it has a 30% chance of applying paralyze at 80%, I think, is how that works. Back to our characters. So how do we get them to join our party? So once again, we just confirm we've got an empty party, so we go to database, system, starting party, our hero. So that means that when we start the game, press escape, our party is just us. How do we add a new party member? So here's one we've prepared earlier. We've simply set up a new event. So I'll go in event, and under the image for the event we've chosen a character 1 and the male. I've put in some text here. In this case I've actually added both of the male and female characters here because I've put them side by side, and we're going to do a little trick. So we've put the female here, there's her image, there's his image, and we've used the various emotions that we created by choosing the different emotions from our sheets that we created for character 1A female and character 1A male. And so now each of these conversation lines has its own emotion. So they ask to join us. We say yes or no. When yes, we simply change the party member. So here you'd add a new variable, add a new event command, change party member, choose Knight Therese, add, and OK. Same thing with Hunter Fred. Now there's an important point. We do want to make sure that we set initialize for these because they are joining our party for the first time. Initialize just sets their stats to the base stats in the database, so that they start at level 1. Okay, we've then added a control switch, so I've pressed enter, I've done control switch, single switch, set a new switch called Therese Fred, and I set it to on. So that switch is now going to activate a second blank page. Switch, just activate that switch, set Therese Fred. So when Therese Fred is on, this event will now show a blank page. When it's off, it will show this. So we'll click OK. Now because I've just changed a couple of things, I'll just quickly paste that. And now I've got two of the same image, but I'm just going to change it back to my male character. So there we are. Now we've got Therese and Fred sitting there side by side waiting for us to come and collect them to our party. So let's test that out. Come in here, we talk to them. Depending on which one we talk to, they say a few things and they use different faces. And then they join us, press escape, and now we can see they're in our party. We can see that their skills are At their default level, their equipment is exactly as we've set it all up in our database. Under actors, there's our starting equipment, starting level 1, and starting level 1, starting equipment. You can change all of that as you like, and that will show up when they join your party, because they have initialized to the default the defaults here in the database. If you don't hit initialize, that could be, for example, this would be if they're joining the party for the first time, but let's say that you wanted to leave them at the inn, say goodbye, and then come back later on and collect them, and you don't want them to lose all their experience, you would not do initialize at that point. Now what if you want to set your main character? So here I've actually loaded up a previous character that I generated from another folder, and you can load these from different projects, that's the beauty about it. And now I'm going to just save this character as character 01B, and so I've got male and female versions, and now I can do my whole new series of faces, so I can do character 01B male, and I can do a series of character 01B female faces. So, magic of video, here are my as a full face set. Okay, now I've got all my expressions there, and same thing for the male. I've got all my set of expressions here. I can now do my walk character, my damage character, and my battler just as before. So I can import my character 01 sheet and export over that. And I can do my female walk character down here, have that as character 01 sheet, export to character 01. So now I can see my character 01 sheet now has 1, 2, 3, 4 options there. Okay, I'll just do my damage sheets as well. So male damage character. Now this gets a bit tricky because you can end up wasting these sheets if you think of it like that, but it really once again depends on how you want to do it. In the default data sets, they have all of the damage files for multiple actors and NPCs and people on just 3 sheets. I'm just going to keep mine on a sheet that makes sense to me, but it's your choice how you'd like to go about it. So I can now add my female damage character, just put that here, and import the damage character there, export character 1 damage. Okay, and then last but not least, I'll do my battlers, and so here's character 01B male battler, and character 01B female battler. So now if I have a look in my my project image SV actors, I can see that there's character 01A female battler, 01A male, 01B female, and 01B male. That means they can all be used as main characters, so I can now close that down, go to my database, I can go to our hero, I can start off our hero as my character 01B male, I can choose my character 01 datasheet. Here this is not refreshed, not sure why, but I'm just going to quickly save this, close project, open project, go back to my database again, character, and it's still not doing it. Okay, so for whatever reason I actually had to close down RPGMaker MV, and now it's working, character 01. Right, and my battler, I can find character 01B male. Excellent. And now we have our new character. If you recall, at the beginning of the game, we actually ask who would you like to be, male or female, and we set that image. So I'm going to change these to my new male character 1. There's my default to 1B. Okay. And change the female to character 1B, female, character 1, female, character 1B, female, butler. Okay, now if I click OK and apply, we can start the game from the very beginning. So, enabling the title screen again with the ICYMI_skip title plugin, just switch that on. If we click new game now, we skip the intro. Our hero was female, our hero's name was, there's our hero. We start in a small town of Wayport, and you can now see that we have the character that we just set up there. That's custom characters. Excuse the length of this tutorial, but obviously there's quite a lot to cover. There's just one more thing you might want to do, and we'll just skip through it, but I'll show you how we did it, and you should be able to figure it out based on what we've learnt already. In this case, we set up character 0A, which is naked, 0B, who has a robe on, 0C, with some leathery armor kind of looking stuff, and 0D with some metal armor. They've also got male and female versions for each of those. We saved the walk character for character 0, and we can see that the walk character for character 0 has all of the various options on there. Oops, I better import it, not export it. Okay, so we can see all of the different options with the naked effectively, robes, leather armor, metal armor for male and female versions. And we also saved battlers for each of those. So you can see here this is the 0D male battler. Okay, we saved one female, one male battler for each of the variants there. And of course we had the face image. So in this case what we actually did with the face image was we set up the naked, robed and leather armor face image and metal armor. So how can we use those to quickly do some character changes? So you'll note that in the game, if you're playing, the default for the game itself is that although we don't have any armor here, you can see that our hero has nothing. It just shows that image by default. And if I now equip the items that we picked up, for example, if I put on a bronze breastplate, it doesn't change anything in terms of the picture. Let's fix that up. So what I've done here is I've just jigged up some events real quickly. We've used the image from the tile set C, and there's kind of armor, cloth looking images over here. What we do is this has to be the same priority, same as actors, action button, and the first thing to do is we change the equipment. So we change the equipment for the body to cloth armor, and we change the equipment for the head to a bandana or something, and then we change the actor images to cloth looking stuff, and then we say I got cloth armor. We set Control Switch A to on, and that will disappear this event. Actually, on second thought, we can just leave that there because you might just want to use that at any time, so I'll just switch that off. But if you want to make it disappear, just hit Control Switch A and activate that. So now when we hit play, we can actually go here, and we can say I've lost my armor, and now you can see he's naked, effectively. We go here, I got cloth armor, I got leather armor. So leather armor has changed. and Mithrama. So it's a way to show the character changes. You could build this into chests. There's a whole range of different ways that you could do it. But obviously the best way to do all of this is with plugins, which we will look at in level 3. That's the end of the custom character tutorial. Apologies again for the extended time. Hopefully it was worth it, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. That's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please consider smashing those like and subscribe buttons, as they do help with the algorithm. Now it's your turn to go make a game. See you in the next one.